Hi, and welcome to a new episode in our travel series. This time we're going to Peru. Peru, it's known for its amazing food culture, and we definitely got a lot of taste in that. But then there's amazing old adobe structures, ruins left over from different eras, and there's the Amazonia rainforest, so there's tons of things to explore in Peru. And obviously there's one that we all want to see, which is Machu Picchu, so that is definitely on our list as well. So let's go for it. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but green is actually my kind of black. So when we went to the Amazonia rainforest, I think I was in heaven. It is incredible, so inspiring and so relaxing. In the Amazonia, I actually took a swim into that river that looks dirty as, but it's not. It is just brown of just the stream, all the mud, and it's one of the most relaxing experiences I've ever had. It's just swimming and floating and letting the current take me in that river. It's, yeah, you have to try it. In the Amazonia, at the Inca Terra resort, they have a canopy walk. It's very high up in the trees. They built this canopy walk. It's, yeah, that probably takes like an hour to do the entire walk.
You know from here?
And I'm scared of heights.
Yeah.
I started, and I have to admit, I ended it because I was just too scared. I was just going to tip over and go down into the rainforest. So beautiful imagery, but it wasn't me.
Lemon.
Oh, sorry.
Lemon.
It's good though. Lima, the capital of Peru. It's a special city. It's none of what you expect. It's always cloudy and very muggy. However, the food scene is out of this world. It's like the best food I've eaten in South America is definitely in Lima. There's amazing small tiny restaurants, and then there's also Central restaurants, which we went to, which is listed as the top 6 restaurants in the world, and it is just a feast for the eyes and a feast for the belly. So yeah, go there. In Lima, we stayed at 2 actually really fun boutique hotels, and they're definitely worth mentioning and showing to you guys. One is Hotel B. which is in a beautiful old family home, and it's all focused around art. The owner is a very big art collector. And then you have on the opposite side, even more tiny, more home feel, which is Atemporal, and I think that's my favorite out of the two. It is super homey, super cozy, and yeah, just a gem. Like aesthetically, one of the most striking elements of Lima is, to me, is the balconies from Spanish colonial times. You see so many, and the city center is actually UNESCO World Heritage because of that. So that's definitely a highlight. And then there's the Larco Museum, which is the most immersive collection of pottery from all the different civilizations that were in Peru. And yeah, the collection is just totally impressive. One of the areas that's often forgotten in Peru by tourists is actually the Trujillo area. And that's where you'll find the Chan Chan ruins, which is this amazing complex of adobe brick constructions. They're old palaces, and for each king ruler, they would build a new palace and bury the whole family in there, except for the son. So it's scary, but the result is that there's just palaces and palaces and palaces that have been remained in good preservation. Another thing to visit around Trujillo, it's the Temple of the Moon and the Temple of the Sun. And there it's by the Moche Empire, and what you see, it's this layered complex, and each layer represents one dynasty. And so every time the head priest died, they would build a new layer. And so it's incredibly preserved because of all those layers. Cusco is the gateway to Machu Picchu, and it's actually a necessary gateway. So everyone's always complaining about the height, the altitude sickness at Machu Picchu. Well, if you go to Cusco first, you'll have it there, and not at Machu Picchu. So Cusco's at 11,000 feet. It's a beautiful, very Spanish colonial town. And yeah, you need a day to prep there and get used to the altitude before you head to Machu Picchu. But it's definitely worth it on its own as well. Hey, hi, we're at the gateway to Machu Picchu, one of the 7 New World Wonders. It takes a lot of effort and adventure to get here. We're almost at the top, so a little bit more. Machu Picchu, the train ride. Yes, there's the only way to get there really is by train, unless you want to do the several days hike. Once you get there, it was one big mess to get tickets. That's ultra restricted due to COVID. But after 5 hours of waiting, we finally made it and got up there. I was so over it. But as soon as I set my eyes on Machu Picchu, I forgot all of it, and I was, yeah, it's heaven. I was in a different world. It definitely has a massive impact on you when you see that complex. Overall, Peru, it's an incredible experience. You should put it high on top of your bucket list. The people are amazing. I mean, I've made friends there for life, met their family members, and I had an amazing time. Everyone is so welcoming and willing to show their country, even the sites that are less touristy. So it's a fantastic country, and I mean the food you can't miss. So that's already enough for a trip. So definitely on top of your bucket list, and like go for it.